Hi guys, it's me Karen, and I'm going to do another page in my favorite book here. It's Fantomorphia. I'm going to do the background in this with the Distress inks and use the Distress tool. I'm going to start with yellow as the light background. It'll go darker out towards the sides or brighter depending on my mood, but I do start with the lightest color first. And we have a black bat, or it's going to be black. I got myself a set of these gel pens, and they are Cali Art, and I'm going to do the wings in a black glitter gel pen, and then get towards the body. Thought the wings would look real pretty with the glitter on it. So the yellow will stand out nicely in the background. And I'm also going to do some of the wings because the wings are kind of lattice-like, and I want the background a different color. So a lot of people in the group that I'm in have kind of jumped on the Distress ink. So I'm going to go ahead and do it in Distress ink. I'm going to kind of show you, I've had a lot of people ask a few questions about whether it bleeds through the paper or how to get it on without leaving marks. So get it on smoothly. Okay, and I'll show you. Like this was heavily done with Distress inks, and then I put water on it here. This is the back side of that page, and you'll see down here the water will bring the ink through the back side of the page, but the ink itself does not come through on its own. I did a little video on the Facebook group that I'm on, Facebook group, and showed them that it doesn't come through by itself, but it will come through if you do it with water on the pages. So what I'm going to do is, on the page, a little bat, I'm going to ink it with the yellow, and I'm going to show you again how I do this without leaving the circle. So if I get a scratch piece of paper here, it will take me a second to find. Okay. Maybe I should get a piece of cardstock because that's closer to what this is. Sorry, my cardstock is not easy accessible. So excuse me while I rip the packaging. Okay. Heavy duty cardstock. This is Georgia Pacific. It is 110 weight. And there's a smooth side. I mean, a shinier side than the other side. It doesn't really make any difference except for when you print it. Okay, now, if you notice, there's a lot of ink on this already because I use my inks a lot, and every single one of my little ink pads that I put on here already have ink on them. That kind of helps move the ink around a little bit, but not necessary. I don't have a brand new one, or I would show it to you with that. Okay, so what you want to do is get your ink on there. I'm not pushing very hard. I'm just rubbing it on there. Okay, so now this is loaded with ink. What I normally do, will have a little piece of scrap paper on the side, and I will dab it down to see how much ink I actually have on here. Okay, and then I will just set it down, and when I do my inking, I always do it at an angle. So if I hold the paper up like this, I'm inking like this. Okay, so very easy, very, very light, almost like barely touching, okay? Just the edge. In fact, you can see how loosely I'm holding it, okay? And when you bring it in, you do it very lightly, and then you go back and forth and back and forth. And you get just this very light coloring on there. If you put your ink thing down and start rubbing it like this, you're gonna end up with these circles, and you're gonna see it. So you want to just very gently bring it in. And if it is not as light as, or dark as you like it, go over it again, because you can layer this ink. And once you get a nice little pile of it on there, you can press a little harder, but you never want to push down too hard. And then you can actually put it down and just rub it. Again, very lightly, very gentle. And you always want to blend it out. So I can get it as dark as that just by going over it again. Okay. So we get it nice and dark, and that gives you a nice blended look so you don't have an edge on it. So just remember, light and gentle, and just the edges. Now if you want to do the coloring that comes in just into the page from the side here, what I always do is put another piece under it, start over here, and then just bring it into the edge. And that way you're running the ink in, starting darker here, running it lighter into the page. I hope that helps a little bit with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to run some ink on this page, and I'm going to go kind of in the wing, not on the outside, but in here, just on the side of the ink pad, and I'm just going to bring it in. So like I said, I'm going to do all the wing in the black pen, but I want the background to be kind of a yellow color. I will avoid the little tiny, I'm guessing that's a playing card, because it should be a color. And then I will just bring the color down. Gonna avoid the bat because I think I have to do him or her in colored pencils, and I don't want to mix the colored pencils with the ink. Okay. So just sticking it on there. And do this wing also. Got a little on the back, but that's okay. Like I said, ink is not a perfect medium. I'm not a perfectionist, so when I use this technique, I just put down ink where I think it would look nice. If it goes over the lines, that doesn't bother me. I'll just make a pretty background for it. Okay, so there we've got yellow there. And I'm going to go ahead and take some of this yellow out and maybe a little up here. Just because the bat is going to have a background. And a little of the yellow will be okay here. There. Maybe bring a little of it down. A little more out. Maybe he'll have a glow around him, or her. I don't know, boy bat or a girl bat. I would have no idea. Okay, now I'm going to switch to, well, that was squeezed lemonade, by the way. And I'm going to go ahead and use some of the spiced marmalade, which is the orange I like. The spiced marmalade goes really good with the browns too. So I'm going to put a little around the bed here. And then you see I have little lines that come out here. I'm going to use those as my little rays. So I'm going to actually accentuate them a little bit and then blend them out. And then mix it in. May have gotten a little dark there, but that's okay. Like I said, it's not rocket science. Just where I want the color. And I'm just dragging it out. And we'll get a little down here. And a little on the other side. There we go. And if it dries, it should dry just a little bit lighter than this. I don't mind it being that dark. I might even darken it a little bit more. It is a little uneven. It's still not going to bother me. The colored pencils that I use is very close to that color, and I can blend it and make it look a little bit better. So that looks good. We'll bring a little of that orange out over here. And that's what we have so far. And I like to let that go ahead and dry, so I will come back when it's dry. Okay, so it's pretty much dry. So the color that goes with this is kind of just your plain orange, and the number to that is a 9118. And it's not quite as dark over here or here. So I'm just going to darken it up a little bit there. And darken it up a little over here. And that gives it more cohesive. When I'm coloring it, I will probably bring some more of that color down. And I will also brighten it up over here a little bit. On all of the areas where it's yellow. Now, other than the fact that I'm going to color all this in black, I haven't really decided what else I'm going to do with him or her, because I haven't decided. I don't think it really matters. It's not wearing jewelry or anything. It has a necklace thingy here, but it also could just be a chain. So we're just going to bring this color up and out. So you're going to have a glowing background behind the bat. If you wonder why I do that, I'm used to working with some pastels and stuff, and that's a way to smear them together, or with graphite, and sometimes it works with Prismacolors if I rub hard enough, because they have a wax in them and they'll blend together a little nicer. So I have to turn the little guy upside down or right side up for you guys. I have to see a little better down here. There we go on that. Okay, I'm going to add a little brown, and this is sienna, and it's a color pencil, so it's 345. Probably have one of these in the other one too. It's burnt ochre. I'm just going to use this one. I'm going to add some brown around the little edges down here. Just for shadow. And in here a little bit. And just keep going around. Background, I'm not sure what I'm going to end up doing with that. I am going to lay down a little bit of the black sparkle. Make sure I get the right pen. Down here on the base. So I'm just going to lay it in here. This is the black one. Take a look at it a little closer. Okay, huh? Could be blue. Let's see what the other one is. The other one is silver. So we'll see how the silver goes here. Add a little down here on the legs. I've never really used gel pens before, so this is a first for me. I'm gonna put dots on and stuff, but nothing like this. This is going to be a lot of work. So we'll work on this side first. pause this. This is probably pretty boring for you. And the light coming in, it looks blue, but there's a lot of glitter in this, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and color in the wings, just doing that, and I'll get back to you when I'm done with the wings, okay? Okay, I've got just a tiny bit left here to do, and if you can see, it turned out a little sparkly. I don't know if you can catch that. So in certain lights, a little bat looks like he's got gold wings, and then in other light, it looks like he's got black wings. So I thought I'd show you how, I mean, this took forever. I wouldn't recommend it. My eyes got a little buggy after a while. So it's just, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this in film. You just color it, and then you try to figure out where the lines are for the dark coloring in here. And I kind of took liberty with the lines because I would go over some of these that have shading in it down in some spots here. So I will try my best here. Just to show you how I've been doing it. And I just go over the areas like that. Then it gets tricky when you can't figure out which lines come up and which lines come down. So I just kind of picked some areas that looked like that would be a good idea. Like I said, this really is a hit and miss when you're doing it. Okay, sorry about that. Battery went out. So I got the last little piece right here to do. And I'll get that done. Sorry, the window's open. And there we go. So I did on the tips here, down here at his feet in a silver. I don't know if you can see that, the tips. There we go. Doesn't matter if you see it, it's glittered. And that piece is finally done. And I'm gonna go ahead and make this part one. I know you didn't get to see much, but I did give you some of the distress inking. So the next one will be doing a little bit more in the background, these swirls and something with these little things here. And I left his arms and this open because I want to color him and his arms and these things the same, and I don't want to do it in the gel pen. So I will leave this video as is, and I will see you in part 2. I'll leave a link down below for that video when I make it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day. Bye now.